Hello there, Chaz Marler from Pair of Dice Paradise here, fresh back from a recent expedition to my local thrift store as part of my continuing quest to discover all those strange and bizarre little board games that seem to coalesce at these secondhand shops. But recently I've actually run into a problem. A funny thing has started happening more and more often during my trips to these bastions of donated merchandise. It seems that recently, tucked in among the piles and piles and piles and piles and piles and piles and piles of the different variations of Seen It that clog the aisles of the local thrift store, there has been more and more actual quote-unquote modern board games to find. For example, I recently came across a copy of Speak Out on one of my recent expeditions, and that really surprised me because even though, in my opinion, Speak Out is more of a novelty activity than a board game, it is a fairly recent one, having been published in 2016. But then again, to be fair, I'm honestly not sure what kind of shelf life I should really expect for a game that's central mechanism is passing around a shared plastic mouth guard while trying to say various words and phrases. Sanitary. And even though I passed up the opportunity to purchase and have the secondhand copy of this game that I found, because no new diseases for me today, thank you, I did stumble onto something else during that thrifting trip. I found and purchased this copy of Star Wars Risk, published in 2015, which is also a surprisingly recent game to discover compared to my usual other local thrift store's board game fossil record. Oh, and other surprisingly not awful board games that I've recently discovered mixed in with the spittle-soaked chaff at my local thrift store include this copy of Carcassonne, which is actually in English, which can replace my German-only copy that I've had for a while, and this excellent abstract puzzle game Ingenious, which is actually a really good game. When I found these little gems, I just couldn't pass them up, and finding gems like these seems to be a trend that's happening more and more frequently as of late. And it makes me wonder if the board gaming hobby has reached a new milestone of sorts, where the industry has grown, evolved to the point where the chaff that gets donated is increasingly turning out to be trash that's another man's treasure, as opposed to just being trash that's also another man's trash. So here's the question for all of you thrifters out there watching. Have you also recently experienced this same increase in game quality at the thrift stores that you frequent? Or is this recent rash of unusually high quality, well, satisfactory quality games that I'm experiencing just an anomaly in my own area that you would suspect will soon run its course? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And also, let me know what recent pleasant surprises you've come across at your own local thrift stores. I would love to hear your stories of what other treasures may be starting to enter the secondhand board game food chain. When I found these little gems...
Ow!
Okay. Mixed in with the spittle-soaked chaff at my local thrift store include this copy of Carcassonne, which does not bounce, apparently. Just will sit there on flop on the flop.
Like this. Flop.
Just while you're down there, could you hand me the...
Here you go. I fell into the trash.
Did someone butter my copy of Carcassonne?
Yep.
Yeah.
I may have put a little butter. I may still